A survey of over 12,000 participants has revealed the top 3 qualities that consumers look for in a brand. To find a glowing example of these qualities, look no further than your favorite superheroes. The superpower of honest persuasion. Hey everyone, this is Canon Wing from Inspiration to Millions. All of today's top brands are like hometown heroes, and research has shown their superpower is honesty. When we think of the defining characteristics of the superheroes, of legends, and of comic books, we think of extraordinary abilities and exceptional skills. We think of an authentic, unwavering moral code that has included a willingness to take personal risks if it's for the greater good. We think of an ally, someone who's always in our corner and watching out for our best interests. The superhero is considered a close and trusted friend to the entire population. A 2014 study on authentic brands reviewed by Fast Company revealed that the #1 quality people demand of big brands is honesty, followed by not letting customers down and acting with integrity at all times. That's the profile of a superhero, if I ever heard one. Fast Company then sent out a tweet asking people to provide their own definition of an authentic brand in 140 characters or less. They received about 12,000 responses, which included says what it does what it says, true to its mission and values, a brand that honestly divulges its practices, both positive and negative. You too have an opportunity to make your brand a superhero to your community of ideal individuals and to inspire the hero that lies within them too. Today, we're going to discuss why honest persuasion is your brand's superpower. And I'm going to provide you with some simple tools for using honest persuasion so your brand can swoop in like a superhero, come out of nowhere, and be an inspiration to millions. You can remember them as the 3 S's for honest persuasion: shared value, seduction, and social proof. First, let's talk a little history. Early marketing and advertising began with honesty. I'm talking about simple, direct facts about the product, how it works, why it works, and how it can work for you. Benjamin Franklin was not only a founding father for America, but also the founder of many new products, which sparked industry and commerce. He was the one who said, honesty is the best policy. When Ben Franklin made that simple yet impactful statement, he wasn't just referring to the moral code for how we conduct ourselves in our personal lives. The word policy is a business term. In its purest and most noble form, sales and advertisement began as a rigorously honest trade. Unfortunately, over time, it was discovered that simply telling the truth about a superior product wasn't enough to secure brand loyalty. Simply telling the truth about a product or service, as it turns out, isn't persuasive. A new breed of business rolled into town and created a stigma around the word sales and advertising that still exists today. Dishonest persuasion swept the market like wildfire. It was catching. Honest businesses with superior products were losing their customers to dishonest businesses who were willing to make false promises and sell inferior products. The honest businesses were driven to fight fire with fire. Deceitful advertising methods threatened to capsize simple, honest companies, and in almost every industry, until many of them reluctantly resorted to dishonest persuasion just to stay afloat in the marketplace. The thing about dishonest persuasion is that it actually works until it doesn't. It's that old adage, you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So dishonest businesses, both past and present, experienced quite an initial influx of cash before their deception was discovered. The major difference back then was that dishonest businesses were able to survive for longer because they could take a clean shot at more unsuspecting people. Their customers didn't have such direct access to their business or to each other as we have now because of the internet. Gone are the days of being able to stay in business for very long with dishonest practices. The reason I mention a bit of history is to highlight the epidemic of distrust, this widespread inferno of deceit ingrained into the public's overall attitude towards sales and advertising, and even the word persuasion. Sales, advertising, and persuasion have all been given various sweeping negative connotations. They're considered synonymous with manipulation, deceit, money grubbing, and they continue to conjure up repulsive images of that schmaltzy, used like cars salesman stereotype. Buyer beware. That's how they get you. Never trust a man in a suit. Never trust a salesman. Anything to make a quick buck. These old sayings are the mindset of distrust, and they're still very much alive in today's consumer market. In truth, sales are a tool for making a difference in your community, providing valuable services that improve people's lives, and an opportunity for you to be able to support your own lifestyle in return. Advertising is necessary for spreading awareness that your products and services exist and that they are making a difference. And persuasion just means inspiring your customers to place their trust in your brand. When that trust is not misplaced, there's nothing dishonest about it. But simply telling the truth about your products and services isn't enough to win brand loyalty from today's ultra-discerning consumer market. Today's consumers want brands that uphold their values and ethics with the resolve of a superhero. Forbes recently issued a list of brands known for honesty, which included Amazon, FedEx, Apple, Target, or Target as we like to say, Nordstrom's as well. You might notice these names are all big names in branding. The rock stars, the superheroes. The results are in. Honest brands go big. Honesty is the backbone of brand loyalty, and honest persuasion is the superpower of a successful brand. Whatever business you're in, brand loyalty is your business plan. Without further ado, here's the 3 S's for honest persuasion. The first of the S's is shared value. Shared value is about connecting your brand with your ideal individuals on a meaningful and emotional level. There's only one way for your brand to get to know your customers so well that they feel your brand shares their values, and that's by listening. The brand that listens better learns better, and the brand that learns better earns better. For this reason, all of your income will be from listening. When defining the shared value your brand has to offer, there's a key question you need to answer for your ideal consumers. How is this product or service in their best interest? There's the truth about your product, the facts about the quality and the effectiveness, and that's important, but it's only part of the equation. There's a deeper truth, always a deeper truth. I'm talking about the truth your ideal individuals hold close to their hearts, the truth they dare not speak, the most deeply held vision of their own best self, living their best life. You already know the value your product or service has to offer you because you set out first to discover it for yourself. You lived into that value for yourself and enthusiastically express it through everything you create, and your brand will be gifted with authenticity. As a brand, you can't promote a state of being that you don't embody through everything you create. Share with your ideal consumers the vulnerable truth that led you to seeking out a better way, a better life, a greater future through developing your product or service. Let your ideal individuals relate to your brand by being vulnerable and human, and let them witness for themselves how your brand revealed your inner hero, your true value. Inspire your ideal individuals to consider your brand as a stepping stone towards becoming their own hero. Authenticity is persuasive. Enthusiasm is persuasive. Sincerity is persuasive. Honest persuasion is inspirational and compels your ideal individuals to trust your brand. Honest persuasion is trustworthy. Aristotle once said, character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. That brings us to the next S, seduction. Talk about a word that has some sordid, subjective connotations. The first thing that popped into my mind just now is one of the birds of paradise with the bright, flouncing plumes of feathers doing their funny little walk to show off their goods to entice the females. Honest persuasion is a bit of a dance, but dancing is fun. So choosing your brand should be fun, even if it feels like a bit of a stretch. If we need to be seduced, it's because we aren't quite sold on the relationship yet. There's a courtship that's taking place, and it's an exciting part of the journey. Growing and changing always feels like a stretch, but we know it's good for us, especially when we can see how it's been good for others. When we feel seduced, what it really means is that we see something we like and we want it for our own. Whenever a person makes a decision to purchase, they're facing certain emotional obstacles. Time, money, energy, and peer pressure are some of the most common vulnerabilities that arise when a person considers becoming a part of a brand community. These vulnerabilities are growing pains. To join your community of brand loyalists, your individuals will need to leave some things behind. Relationships with other brands, the comfort of an old routine, a version of themselves that no longer serves their greatest good. So, make the process fun, vibrant, enthusiastic, seductive. Seduction is what brings your ideal individual closer to your brand, and building a brand like a hometown is about coming together and forming a community. Share with them vulnerably about the challenges you faced, and they may face as well. But do it while dancing on the finish line, showcasing the value in taking the plunge and cheering them ever onward. Let your origin story, your victory over adversity, show them they aren't alone. Let your enthusiasm for what your brand stands for be the siren call to moving bravely towards that greater future for themselves. William Shakespeare once said, "No legacy is so rich as honesty." Which brings us to our final S in the 3 S's of honest persuasion: social proof. Social proof is an industry term. According to Wikipedia, social proof is a psychological phenomenon where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to obtain a similar outcome from a given situation. Often in situations where we aren't sure what to do, we'll look to those who appear to know more than we do and follow their example. Social proof is a powerful persuasion tool and should be wielded with the integrity and sense of responsibility that you would expect from a hometown hero. From the time we were born, we began looking outside ourselves for social clues on how to behave and using methods of persuasion to get our needs met. At 2 years old, those methods very well could have included emotional manipulation, being charming or acting coy, being sneaky. It's quite normal to experiment in these ways and test boundaries while we're formulating over our surroundings. It's when we don't grow out of those ways of persuasion that we find ourselves wielding persuasion in a dishonest way. The best way to gauge how we are utilizing persuasion is to examine what kind of energy your tactics create. More so than any message your brand can convey, people will remember how it made them feel. Honest persuasion, rooted in transparency, empathy, and enthusiasm, will create positive, hopeful, exciting, comfortable energy. Persuasion that is rooted in being like coy, playing on guilty conscience, like sneaky wordplay, and laying on that like insincere like charm, it creates this sense of urgency or inadequacy, discomfort, discontent. This type of persuasion will work on some of the people some of the time, but only once or twice. Eventually, these brands end up like an abandoned ghost town, not a beloved hometown. Social proof creates self-sustained momentum. When we see other people enjoying your products, having friends who are raving about your brand services, we hear experts confirming the effectiveness and benefits of being involved with your brand. The phenomenon of social proof is set in motion. Get this, we are 50 times more likely to buy from word-of-mouth advertising. 50 times! That's the power of social proof. Mark Twain once said, "If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything." Honest persuasion fears no question. Your brand is an open house, a welcome forum, and your customers always have the floor. Social proof creates self-sustained momentum, and when the backbone of your brand is honesty, your brand no longer needs to do all the talking. When your individuals always have the floor, you are free to always be listening. All of your brand's income will come from listening. Use social proof honestly and responsibly, and brand loyalty will be your great reward. So let's recap the 3 S's of honest persuasion. They are shared value, seduction, and social proof. Trust, compassion, and integrity can't be faked, but it can be earned by listening and by being honest. Facts, authenticity, sincerity, and credibility are persuasive. Identify your ideal individual's deepest deepest truth, the one they dare not speak, their deepest held vision of their own best self. Start brainstorming ways to let them know they're not alone in this harboring of this desire by sharing with them openly and honestly about the challenges you face and how your brand helped you overcome them. Just be honest, and your story will be persuasive. Thank you so much for joining me today as we discuss the superpower of honest persuasion. I hope you've gained some clarity around the idea of persuasion and how it can be sourced to bring truth, vibrancy, and community into your brand and into the lives of your ideal individuals. When you're living your truth by sharing your experiences, both positive and negative, you're offering value, connection, and growth to your customers that extends far beyond what any product or service could ever offer. Speak with honesty, dance with enthusiasm, and act with integrity. And as always, love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for listening. Don't miss out on a single thing. Please leave a comment below. And as always, remember to love what you do and love how you do it.